Come on in. Come on in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah. I'm gonna pop in from now and again. But I saw the engagement the other day when I was cleaning the tank. I think a lot of people like fish. I think I found something the other day when I was cleaning the tank. A dynamic that I think works. I think fish are relaxing. Watching the fish swim because it relaxes me. And when I was talking the other day, it seemed like the user engagement was higher, plus the retention was longer. Why? Because of the activity of the fish swimming back. So I learned that just from cleaning the tank. So now since the tank is crystal clean, I'm going to be talking, and I'll pop on camera from now and again, but I am going to use the tank as a backdrop. I want to talk about what's going on. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I want to talk about the spot market. You guys can hear me, right? Because I got my headset on, so I'm walking around doing shit around the house. They definitely been eating really, really good. Definitely been eating good. Y'all can hear me, right? Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. All right, so boom, I want to talk about the spot market. Now, some of you guys have probably heard some of this before, but I'm going to do a little educational backdrop before I start cooking up. All right, so to my long-time subscribers, I always must reiterate that, from time to time, I have to go back and touch on things that you might have got a chance to, that you might have already heard me touch on, but you always got new people coming in. As y'all can see on a lot of these live streams I do, the new people are get a little lost. So you got to go back and touch on things. And then when I touch on things that I might have touched on in the past, I tend to throw a little extra cook up, a little extra seasoning on it. You dig what I'm saying? Just for the people who've been around for a while. But I want to talk about the spot market, right? And I'm going to give you a very, 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 very entry-level lecture on the spot market, how the spot market came about, right? Because I think this is very instrumental for you to really understand what's going on. I don't like when I hear people complain about brokers, and, raids and trash. You guys know how I am about that. And a big reason a lot of people complain about that is because they just don't understand. But let's break down the spot market. Let's go into the history of the spot market, right? Once upon a time, trucking was regulated, right? That was regulation. It's regulated now, but it was deregulated in 1980, right? The way trucking used to work prior to deregulation was a company owned a specific route to move a specific commodity, right? So let's say the commodity that I moved was bread, right? If I owned the bread route from, let's say, Chicago to Cleveland, all right, y'all can hear me? My bad, I had to take that call. That was my OG. Always got to take the OG call, just in case. You never know, it might be important. I want to make sure my mic is still on. Y'all can't hear me? Loud and clear. Can't hear you. Mic standard. Can y'all hear me?
Let me know if y'all can hear me because I had a phone call come through. Let's see. Hold on. Is it crystal clear? Because I'm gonna be walking away. I want to make sure it's coming through the mic from the headset. I want to make sure it's coming through the mic and not the phone. Hold on. My OG calling me. Oh yeah, we good. We Gucci. Oh, we Gucci. We Gucci. We Gucci. All right, crystal clear. All right, I know I lost a few people, but we'll get them back. So boom. So the way the stock market used to work prior to the deregulation in 1980, let's say I owned a specific route. Let's say I owned a bread route, right, from Chicago to Cleveland on 90, right? So from on I-90 from Chicago to Cleveland, nobody could move that commodity except me. That's it. The government had a tariff on what we could charge, and the only person that could move that commodity between Chicago and Cleveland on I-90 was my company. All right, so I had no competition. That route was monopolized, right? All right. So because it was monopolized, the cost was a lot higher, right? And this is the way trucking worked. Also, there wasn't a such thing as OTR. Like all truckers prior to deregulation, for the most part, came home every night, right? Trucking was more of a parlay type thing. Let's say if I owned a bread company and I had orders coming from Chicago to New York. That driver would, let's say, drive from Chicago to, let's say, Cleveland, and then turn around and come back home. He would sleep in his own bed. He would drop off at a terminal in Cleveland, and then another driver would take it from Cleveland to New York, right? So OTR, the way you know OTR today, it didn't exist like that back then, right? Pretty much there was different legs of trucking, right? But it was regulated to the point where companies own specific routes, right? Now, what the government understood that if trucking continued to go on its way for years and years and years, with the rate of inflation constantly going up, most of your essentials, most of your basic commodities would be sky high, right? Would be sky high. By deregulating trucking, that brought in more people, that gave more people the opportunity to move commodities across the country, right? It also opened up what we know today as OTR, all right? And the conditions for truckers obviously became a lot worse, right? Truckers made a whole lot more money prior to deregulation than they do now, right? If you look at what they were making as far as, their salary for a year, obviously that number is less. But when you scale it with the rate of inflation at what a dollar would get you in those times versus what it would get you now, truckers made a whole lot more money, right? Than what truckers make now, right? All right. So ultimately, the big winners because of deregulation was everybody except the truckers, right? Everybody except the truckers. Fades when you walk away. Fades when I walk away. So I guess it's not, my headset ain't picking up. Hold on. Hold on. I'll make sure it picks up in my headset. That's what happened. Check, check, check. Is that clear? Check, 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 check. I want to know if it got clear once I cut them off and cut them back on. All right. Check, 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 check. Let me know. I'm check, 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 check. Let me know, was it cool when I walked away? All right, boom. So basically, what I was saying in a nutshell, when trucking was deregulated in 1980, it made it good for everybody else and it made it worse for truckers, right? Truckers now had to work longer hours, and obviously they made less money. Why did they make less money? Because now, since routes weren't monopolized anymore, because competition is coming in, so a multitude of different owner operators and carriers can now bid on specific loads for specific commodities. And with that competition, it lowered rates, right? So for all you new guys that are coming into trucking, this is why the rates are what they are, right? Prior to deregulation, truckers were making a whole lot of money. They were making a whole lot of money and they got to sleep in their bed every night. Deregulation made it tougher for truckers and better for everyone. Why? Because now with increased competition in the spot market, rates went down and those savings were passed along to every single body, all the way down to the consumer, which ultimately was good for the big box retailers. Right? So when you come into trucking, you have to make sure that you're educated on what you're getting into, right? It's easy to watch people on Instagram and watch people in Facebook groups and watch people on YouTube say shit, and then you go behind them and you repeat what they said because it sounds good. And then you come into a space or you come into a community of people that understand the business that they're in, they understand the history of it, and you sound crazy. The whole purpose of the spot market is to drive down rates. That's the whole purpose of it. The whole purpose is to keep rates low. Period. The lower the rates, the better it is for everybody, including you, right? Well, Mark, it's not better for me because I'm a trucker. I want to make more money. Okay, okay, but there's pros and cons to it. You want to make more money on the business side of the equation, but what about on the consumer side of the equation, right? Because as a business owner, you are also a consumer. When you are not in your truck driving and you're in Walmart with your wife or your girlfriend shopping for your kids, Pampers and toiletries and paper products and things like that, you're looking for the best bang for your buck. You're looking for a bargain. If rates were through the roof for truckers all the time, then those prices are going to be reflected at the store on the shelf. So it's almost like, or it is a catch 22. So what do you do? So what do you do? I'm going to tell you what you do. One, the first thing you do is you stop complaining, right? The whole purpose of this live is because I was watching a replay earlier today from the live stream yesterday, and the first guy that came up, and shout out to him, he was saying, now ain't a good time, and I challenged him one, and I said, well, why are you telling people now ain't a good time? And he said the rates, and I said, well, if now is not the right time, when is? And he couldn't answer the question. The point is the right time is whenever you want to come in because you make the right time. You can make the right time and you can make the wrong time. If you know what you're doing and you understand what I'm saying right now as far as the history of the spot market and why it is the way it is, you'll always win. Why? Because you're going to keep this knowledge and this information in the back of your mind. If you know it was created to drive down the rates, you're always going to set yourself up to make the most money understanding that. And one of the main things that you're going to always focus on because you understand that is lowering your cost. Somebody is always winning in every market. The spot market is not the only the trucking spot market is not the only industry whose prices are based off of market. There's a bunch of different markets, and you have people that win in those markets, and you have people that lose. Even when there's economical challenges that are facing the country, you still have people that are winning. If you look at something like the stock market, when the stock market is doing bad, people bet against the stocks. They'll short stocks. They'll figure out a way to make money when there's blood in the streets. Same thing with the housing market. There's people when the housing market is tough, there's people that are finding ways to make money in it. If you're running OTR and you don't even know your cost per mile, how do you expect to win? See, that's the thing. It wouldn't matter to me if I ran OTR what the rates would be, because I would always make sure that I'm set up to win no matter what by keeping my costs down. And every single week, it never fails. We still have yet to come across someone that knows their cost per mile and can prove that the number that they're telling me is what it actually is. I have yet for someone to where I ask them, yo, what's your cost per mile? And they answer it confidently. Still to this day, it chokes people up. Yo, what's your cost per mile? Uh, 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 it's like 60 cents, or it's like a dollar 10 or a dollar 20. It's like no one knows. You know why? Because they never sat down to even figure it out. They don't even know the formula. They don't know what they making. They just doing something just to say, "Oh, I'm a business owner." No growth. This is why the company not growing. This is why the bank account not growing. This is why, the assets aren't growing. Nothing's growing. The only thing that's growing is debt. If you have more debt growing than profit, you're doing something wrong. When does it come to a point where you sit down and say, listen, I gotta reassess what's going on here. I gotta reassess it. Never. So it kind of frustrates me that one of the basic fundamentals of being successful, which is knowing, and I keep having to reiterate this. And it's almost like, I know that some people, it's like, yo, it's like beating a dead horse, but to the people that, constantly come on and watch me beat this dead horse, they come on because I make it entertaining, right? So that it doesn't get old with the people that have been following the channel for a while. But it's like beating a dead horse. I have to constantly find new ways and new ideas to present content to break through to people that, understanding what it costs you to run your business is the key to success. We got people that have been watching the channel and, listen, we gonna always keep it 1,000. Still ain't got a truck, ain't got a cargo van, ain't even ran in a personal vehicle yet. Talking about 2 years. Understanding your costs and work. That's the combination right there. Blaming the spot market and blaming brokers for your demise or for your shortcomings
And the box truck business is what not with a listen. A true business owner and a true boss doesn't place the blame on somebody else. I've never placed blame on anybody. Every single thing that has happened to me in business that was a shortcoming, I had nobody to blame but myself because I sat at the head of the throne or the helm. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So everything falls on me, right? If I made a poor decision as far as consulting with someone, or if I made a poor decision, like we had a guy yesterday that had an accountant, right? And I told him like, yo, get another account because this account, I don't think this accountant is right. You know, you shouldn't owe anything, right? So let's say he pays that 6,000 and realizes, yo, I should have been zeroed out. My decision or his decision to hire that accountant, he has to take that hit and blame himself. Even if he got a referral from someone, man, I didn't do enough digging or I didn't ask enough questions. Something didn't feel right. I felt like, man, I listened to Mark, but man, something didn't feel right, but I just accepted it. Or, you know what? I didn't turn in all my receipts. I don't have copies of all my receipts. My accounting, my bookkeeping is not all the way right because there's plenty more things that I could have written off to get my write-offs to the point where I didn't owe anything. Nobody to blame. People that cry and complain about brokers. Nobody to blame but yourself. Listen, everybody trying to get bread. If you accept something, that's on you. They ain't on. Hey, listen, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody but you. Your negotiation skills suck. You are a sucky negotiator. You're willing to accept anything. And you know what they say about a man that's willing to accept anything. Do I got to tell you what they say about a man that's willing to accept anything? Sometimes you just what they say about Diddy. Sometimes you just got to tell Diddy no. Just like how you got to tell Diddy no. Diddy want to party, and sometimes you just got to tell him no. Sometimes you just got to tell the broker no. Sometimes you just got to tell the 3PL company no. I showed you. I told them no. Why? Because I'm just not susceptible to doing anything. If I know what it costs me to run my business, I don't give a goddamn the opportunity you give me. Why am I going to accept an opportunity that you giving me? So the only thing that's going to happen with me accepting this opportunity that doesn't fit financially for my business, the only thing that it's going to do for me is put me in debt and make me look like I'm doing something. Hey Mark, we need you to come, man. Can you come run 10 trucks? Yeah, we're gonna pay you $1 a piece. You need 10 trucks, we need 10 drivers, and we're gonna run you for $1 a piece, and you're gonna get about 100 to 150 pieces a day. So $1 a piece, 10 trucks, that's 100 to $150 a day gross. Once I pay my drivers that 100 to 150, pay fuel, I'm upside down. Why would I take it? Just so I can say, man, I just got a contract with this company running 10 trucks. So yeah, I look good for the short term, but every day I run those 10 trucks, it's costing me money. I'm spending money just so that I can go tell somebody I got a contract for 10 trucks. When one or two things, either one, deep down inside, I know I'm going to lose, but I'm taking it just so, or I just get the trucks running. Or two, I don't know what it's costing because I don't know how to do math. I don't know what it's costing me to run my business. I just accept it. And the answer should have been no off rip. Anytime you take a load from a broker, whether it's one pick, one drop, whatever the situation is, and you're running it and you're losing, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You accepted that. The spot market is designed purposely to keep costs down, to save everybody else but the trucker. The spot market and deregulation of trucking in 1980 was designed to benefit everybody but the trucker. Go do your research on it. Everybody benefits from deregulation of trucking and the introduction of the spot market, except the trucker. So now that you know this, now what do? Do you let the spot market beat you, or do you concoct a plan to ultimately beat it every time you go on the spot market to look for a load? This whole cheap freight shit. Why do y'all get caught up in what these people say, man? Why do y'all get caught up? Because check this out. I said this before and I'll say it again. The same people that's pushing that whole stop taking cheap freight narrative, these are probably some of the people that you look up to whose costs are very, very minimal, that's taking the freight that they telling you not to take. It's just like this. When I'm playing the stock market, I'm what they call a retail investor, right? I'm not an institutional investor. I'm a retail investor, right? And what'll happen is in the stock market, crypto market, all these different financial markets, the powers that be, the institutions, they like to do what's called manipulation, right? They'll tell you to do one thing, or they'll perpetuate some shit to the media so that they can run a story, so that it can reach the masses, and they're sending you on an angle, and they want people to do that, right? And the whole time they're doing something else, right? So what they'll do is they'll put FUD out, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And when they put this FUD out, everybody will go sell, right? And then you'll see the market go down, right? And then what do? Once they put that FUD out, the market goes down. They come in and scoop up all those assets at a discount, right? If they wouldn't have put that FUD out, the price would have been up here. And yeah, they got the money to buy it up here. But if they know they have the influence over the media and they can put out a story or put out some FUD, spread some FUD, which is ultimately going to scare the retail investors. Why? Because consumers are fucking stupid. And then they're going to go run and sell because Grayscale or because fucking BlackRock said something. Then everybody's going to run the fucking sale the next day. And then the price goes down. They'll just buy it down here. And when they buy it down here, because they have fucking trillions of dollars under management, they go buy fucking $1 billion worth. It's going to go right back up here. And then they'll unload it to all the fucking stupid retailers that follow them and leave them fucking holding the bag. Same thing in this market. A person will tell you, oh, stop taking cheap freight, stop taking cheap freight. When deep down, they really kind of understand the market. And they're telling you to do one thing while they're doing another. And then it's you, the one that's running around to all these different platforms and all these different communities, putting stupid shit in the chat saying stop taking cheap freight. When the only thing that you have to do is sit your ass down, do what you never do and what you never did, which is go through all your expenses, from your fixed expenses to your variable expenses, see what you spend it, come up with your cost per mile, see what you grossing, and determining where you need to shave at so that you ultimately can become profitable. The time that you spend in saying the shit that doesn't benefit you, that doesn't make sense, is the time that you should be spending trying to figure out what it's costing you to run your business. And 9 times out of 10, 9.5% of the people that sit down and actually do that in the box trucking space going to realize that they're spending more money than they're actually making. This shit ain't hard. But since people can't seem to get it, we just gonna have to beat it into you. And this is the whole point of putting people in the circle and holding them accountable. Because nobody's gonna hold you accountable. Either you're gonna learn it the easy way or you're gonna learn it the hard way. You can learn it the easy way by just doing the simple math, doing the simple formulas, being a real business owner. Don't come up to me and tell me you a boss and you don't know what your cost per mile is. You can't tell me you a boss. A boss understands what it takes to run a business. A boss knows their cost. A boss knows they cost like they know the back of their hand. Why? Because your success is based on what it costs you to run your business. It's simple. Listen, I'm not going to invest in anything that I have no idea what the fuck I'm investing in. Mark, what you think about GameStop and this roaring kitty? I got on the members only live stream and I said, no, I'm not doing it. Well, man, it's going up. It could be like 2020 all over again. Nope. It's not going to be like 2020. It's not going to be the powers that be are going to keep halting it. They're going to keep halting it. They're not going to allow you guys to get rich off fucking GameStop. They're not going to allow this company's market cap to go through the roof because of some fucking manufactured fucking rally from Wall Street bets and some fucking guy named Roaring Kitty, right? That was a once in a lifetime opportunity. So me doing a deep dive analysis into the fundamentals of GameStop, no, the company is not worth what they're trying to push it to. It's not going to go, and the government is not going to let it happen. So I'm not going to put my money in it because I don't got time to sit and play these games with all these motherfuckers that's gambling. And sure enough, look what happened. Damn, Mark, you was right. Damn, man, Mark, I'm glad I listened to you. I was doubting you, but look, they halted that shit 34 times. Why? Did I look into it? Of course I looked into it. That's why I didn't do it. Because before I invested into that company, I had to have a full understanding. We're not in the pandemic anymore. So similar to how that market was during the pandemic, that's how the box truck market was. You had a bunch of people gambling with money that they didn't fucking earn. So I understood that the retail dollars that were used to pump it up to $500 a share in 2020, those retail dollars aren't there anymore because people are what? People are broke. So just like the guy yesterday, yo, don't get in now. And I said, why? It's fucked up right now. The brokers, the rates are bad. I said, well, then they shouldn't get in now. When should they get in? No answer. Why? It's always the right time to get in if you know what you're doing. What you see now is what you get. Somebody messaged me this morning and sent me something that they saw. Man, you was right again, Mark. We ain't gonna get no rate cuts this year. If so, one. You don't have to be a rocket science to figure that out. Well, Mark, how did you know? Because Jerome Powell was saying three. You've been saying you don't think it's gonna be three. Since the beginning of the year, anybody that follows me knows since the beginning of the year, I said it ain't gonna be 3 rate cuts. Why? Because every time I go in the store, the food that I'm constantly buying over and over and over keeps going up. So if the food is going up, how are we cutting rates when the whole purpose of raising the rates is to cool down the economy to get people to stop spending so that ultimately they can lower the rates? Now parallel that with the spot market. How do you expect more volume to increase when things are the same? It's actually getting worse. People are spending money, right? This is why inflation is rising, but they're not spending the money on the things that you need them to spend the money on. And then you have a culture of people wanting to be their own boss, so you have people coming out. But for some of those people coming out, you have people replacing those people coming in. There's more people coming out than coming in, but there's still people coming in. How do I know? Because there's people that come up all the time in my channel saying they trying to get into the box truck business. It was a guy or two yesterday. It's always somebody that's going to leave their job to get a box truck week in and week out. This is why this channel and this is why the community is so important, because I put it out to the community what you're up against. Every week is somebody coming up saying they finna leave their job or just left their job and bought a box truck or bought a cargo van. People are leaving their careers right now to get into this box truck business. So there's still people coming in. And as long as we have this culture of be your own boss, trucking, especially non-CDL box trucking, is going to be one of those first go-tos, right? So not only do you have an overabundance of supply and lower volume, something that somebody else brought up yesterday, which is a good point. Why are they always saying we're short X amount of truckers? Propaganda. If you already know that the supply of truckers overwhelms the volume, right, which increases the competition to ultimately lower the rates, and the powers that be always say, oh, we're short this many truckers, we're short this many truckers, and all the truckers say, no, we're not short this many truckers. Why do you think the powers that be put out the propaganda that they need more truckers? One, it's free advertising, or it's advertising to get people interested in coming into trucking, right? Because the more people that come into trucking, the more competition. The more competition ultimately affects the rates. The rates go down, and because lower rates, those savings can be passed along to the consumer. So why do people sit up there and complain about cheap rates? It's the way it's always been. It's always going to be. So for all you new guys that just came in during the pandemic and you saw that $2 million a mile, listen, that was a dream. That was a once in a lifetime thing. You'll never see that again. That wasn't real. It was, it was that time period was a once in a lifetime opportunity because of everything that was going on. But that's not how trucking operates. What you're going through and what you're living through right now is what trucking is. Accept it. If you can't get with this, then you're not going to succeed. The powers that be always are going to say it's short drivers because they want more drivers to come in. They don't care if you guys are fighting over fewer loads. It's better for them. Duh. 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 Supply and demand. Why I could put up 10 G's, and I've been put it up a year ago. For all these people that say, hey, stop taking cheap freight, and I've challenged all of them. I put it out to the whole community. Yo, I got 10,000. Put it up. Come debate me and explain. We can have a debate on what the fuck is cheap freight and why motherfuckers need to stop taking it. Explain to me what the fuck it is and why people need to stop taking it. Because I've already explained to you it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter what it is. Why has no one I've been popped up in people's live streams and challenged, they have turned me down. And then people just stop saying it. You don't even hear nobody say it no more. I wonder why. When I say shit, I explain it in depth so that you understand it. If I say, yo, stop taking cheap freight, I'll tell you, stop saying that shit is stupid. It makes you look ignorant, and then I'll give you the reason why. If the powers that be go on put out a national campaign, they spend millions and millions of dollars to run ads on Facebook, Instagram, Snappy Chat, TikTok, and on TV. That hey, we need more truckers. We need more truckers. We need more truckers. We need more truckers. And let's say they put out some type of grant where they'll send people to school to become CDL drivers free, which they already got the WIA grant. But let's say, things get out of hand with inflation and they try to figure out a way to ultimately get rates down. Since people ain't going to stop money, and this is just a scenario I'm putting in my head. I'm not saying it could happen, but it's a possibility something like this could happen. They can't curb inflation. So you know what? We got to figure out how we can cut costs on basic goods. So what can we do? What can some type of fucking scheme can we manufacture to cut costs? All right, we gotta get shipping lower then. Well, what can we do to get shipping lower? Increase the supply. So let's send a bunch of people to trucking school. Let's fund some grants and make it easier for people to get through the wheel so we can get more people out there so there'll be more competition. So that'll force more people to do what's best for them anyway, which is understand their cost per mount so they can get their rates down and add a bunch of retards in there that don't know what the fuck they doing, that's just taking shit and don't know what the fuck they taking, which is bad too, but ultimately good for everybody else. And now, since the rates are going down further because we increase the supply, those savings can ultimately get passed along to the consumer, and we've helped cure inflation somewhat that way. I just thought about that. Not to say that it will happen, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Then what you gonna do? Leverage yourself. Leverage yourself. Some of y'all don't even have leverage when y'all talk to these brokers. Y'all go in there and talk to these brokers just like some wimps, like a whole wimp. If the shoe don't fit, don't put it on. Just willing to accept whatever, and then you complain. Broker, man. Man, nobody want to hear that shit. Listen, if you was a broker, put your shoe on the other foot and keep it a buck. If you was a broker, you would be putting your foot on cats next too. It's dog eat dog. If you were a broker and you was coming across some truckers that didn't know their cost per mile, that didn't know shit, and you trying to increase your profit, your bottom line as a broker, you working on commission, you finna be, well, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that they, get all as much money as possible, and I'm gonna just take the hit and continue to stay in this fucking tenement shack studio 300 square foot apartment. I don't want to grow. in this in this in this in this career. I just want to stay where I'm at. I want to continue to live in this studio. I want to continue to take public transportation. I want to continue to be a penny ante ass broker. No, you're gonna stand on people's necks. You're gonna take advantage of people who don't know because that's just what the business is. Everybody is out to win. So if you allow the people to get over on, that's on you. You wouldn't believe the amount of DMs, how my DMs have. There's a lot of people that watch the channel. Obviously, you guys know the people who are more active in the chat, right? Than not. Obviously, there's a bunch of people that watch my channel, my content, that don't say anything in the chat, right? But I'll get DMs privately. After that live stream Sunday, one of the main DMs that I've been getting is for people wanting me to look over their contracts. Now I was already getting these DMs, right? But after the live stream Sunday, when people seen my negotiation, because I've talked about it for the past 2 years, but I showed you emails. So when you seen it, you want me to look, right? Because clearly I know what I'm doing to get to where I got to, right? I never let nobody take advantage of me, ever. A big part of business is also leverage. A lot of y'all ain't got no leverage, none. You haven't even allowed yourself to put yourself in the position so that you have leverage. And leverage isn't not necessarily the type of leverage that you saw me use and take advantage of 3PLs. You have to figure out what the best leverage for your situation is. One is, man, lowering your cost. Two is knowing how to listen. Some of y'all don't got no finesse, and this is where the middle, like some of y'all middle Americans, y'all ain't got no umph. Y'all ain't got no finesse. Y'all don't know how to. You couldn't talk a broad out her panties. That's why you was always going on a date, and when you get to drop the chick off, you just sitting in the car waiting for her to invite you in, and you never got invited in because you didn't know how to talk her out her panties. Some of y'all don't know how to talk these brokers into giving you what you want. Some of y'all just ain't got the finesse. Some of y'all just don't say shit. You don't even open your mouth, and closed mouths don't get fed. Sometimes it's about the finesse. This is business. Do we really got to go there? What about the kickback? Some of y'all ain't even kicking back. Some of y'all not even paying y'all dues. Y'all see, I've never talked about paying dues. Mark, paying dues. I'm my own boss. See, that's why you fucked up now. You don't know how to pay your dues. Somebody in the chat, give me an example. If you running middle mile OTR, give me one example of what paying your dues is. Some of y'all don't even know how to pay y'all dues. Some of y'all ain't paying y'all dues out here, man. It's business. You on the new, you ain't got no leverage. Listen, it's just like joining a gang. It's like joining a mob. You a foot soldier. Man, you got to kick up. What you kicking up? That's part of the finesse. That's part of the finesse. You running OTR. You got to pay some dues. Charlie, what dues you pay? What dues you pay? Taking a BS load to get in the door is paying dues. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't take no BS load. Listen, I don't give a listen. The only way I'm taking something that I'm breaking even on, to me, breaking even is failure, right? I'm not taking nothing knowingly that I'm paying to run. Period. I don't give a fuck. Never. I didn't get in the business to help people out. Got in business to make money, right? Paying dues, one, knowing how to talk to people. Listen, I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I was raised a certain type of way. But sometimes, and I ain't gonna say kissing ass, but sometimes you gotta sweet talk some of these people, right? Two, giving back. Listen, man, it don't hurt if you dealing with the same brokers. Man, man, can I buy you lunch? Matter of fact, let me buy the whole office lunch, man. How many of y'all in there? Are y'all a small little outfit? About 10 people? All right, man. I'm gonna send 5 pieces, man. What's the address? Man, what's up, man? Hey man, what you know what? I sent y'all pizzas last week, man. It's a guy downstairs, man. He got coffee and donuts for the office, man. It's on ABC 123 trucking, man. Man, y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. Just don't forget about me. Hey, don't forget about me. Then I hit him back the next day. Hey man, I got coffee for y'all again, man. Y'all like that coffee yesterday? Oh yeah, man, that was great. Yeah, man. Go ahead, man. It's a, somebody downstairs, man. Let him in, man. He got some more coffee and donuts for you, man. Don't forget about me. That's a small investment. That's a small investment. A small investment. Why? Now, in a sea full of other carriers that are also calling this broker for these loads, now you start to stand out. Now, when things come across that pay good, they call you. Yo, I got this load. It's hot, man. You want it? Yeah, I got it. I got it. You know, for you. I'm calling you. Then they start taking care of you. It's gonna that little small investment, that penny ante ass coffee and donuts here and there, you're gonna make way more money on the back end. Christmas time come around. Your broker put a nice little gift bag, a bottle of champagne, 150, $200 gift card, and a sentimental thank you note. Without you, this is my first year in business. Without you, I don't think I'd have made it this far. You've been very instrumental of me getting my business to the next level, and this is just a little token of my appreciation. That's the problem. You selfish. You don't know how to kick back. Always got to kick back. You got to kick up to the top. You sit and watch all these. You don't watch Casino. You don't watch Goodfellas. You don't watch all these movies and you didn't learn nothing. You got to kick up to the top, man. Nobody knows you. Just because you booked a load off a load board and you accepted it, so what? So did everybody else. You want your name to ring bells. If your name ain't ringing bells, if you not getting them calls with those high dollar amount opportunities, you're not doing nothing. And the reason why you're not getting that call because nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. What have you done for people to know you? My leverage came from bailing people out. I was bailing out all the 3PLs. Why? Because I had the manpower and the trucks. And I understood very early on from day one, yo, they can't keep people. It's always freight on the dock. So whenever they call me, my leverage is that I can help them out. But because they're calling me, they're in dire need. They need me. So I can always name my price. I just need to make sure that I got the manpower and the vehicles always on deck, on standby, ready to go. The dynamic of OTR is a little bit different. There's a bigger cesspool of competition. So you have to stand out. You have to stand out. You're in a huge pool of competition. This type of shit, the shit that I be giving to y'all is the shit that all these people go spend tens of thousands of dollars. They go fucking go to Tony Robbins and shit like that. And I just sit up here and kick it to y'all for free because I just enjoy doing it. I really enjoy helping people out. I enjoy people saying, Mark, I tried your method, bro. Big dog, you the GOAT. That's where I get my pay from, right? God blesses me in so many ways. I don't, blessings just keep coming because I do right by people. I could be an asshole in business, shrewd, but I'm gonna make sure you get your money. I'm gonna pay you. You know what I'm saying? I may talk to you crazy here and there, but you're gonna get paid. Nobody knows you, but when you apply some of these methods so that you can get in and be known by the people who ultimately hold your fate in their hands, right? Because guess what? You got to go through the broker to get the loan so that you can make money. You got to go through these people so that you can earn. You got to make sure that your name ringing bells. And you got to kick back. That's one of the secrets that a lot of these OTR guys don't tell you. This is what they doing. See, they gonna get mad. It's some of them in here watching now. They hate me. They hate me because I tell all the secrets. I've never been a gatekeeper. Never. This is the shit that they not gonna tell you. The brown nosing aspect. You can call it brown nosing, kissing ass. I just tell you, I call it for business purposes, kicking up to the top. You ain't sending coffee and donuts to your broker? What? Tweaking. You ain't sending pizza? You ain't having pizza Fridays with your broker? You tweaking. Your broker skipping all over all these goofies that's calling bid and he telling you, man, this is what we got. This is what we got on it, man. I'm just gonna give it to you, man, at this amount. You getting the direct calls, fam. This is how. See, they not gonna tell you that. Hey, if you ain't never had a broker call you and say, yo, this is off the record, you ain't him. When you start getting calls from the 3PL executives and the operations people, the big executives, they said, man, Marcus want to talk to you off the record. You ain't him yet. When you start getting them calls and they're like, Mark, can I talk to you off the record? Then you getting somewhere. You getting somewhere. You got to kick up. So I listen, business is business. And it's just in just plain terms, a lot of people just don't understand business. It's clear that a lot of people that come into business, any business, but we're going to stick specifically with the box truck business, don't understand business. They don't understand how to play the game. You don't understand how to play the game. By kicking up, you're buying your leverage. Duh. Duh. See, I had to tear you down to pull you up. I tore you down. Now I'm giving you the information, building you back up. See, I'm gonna tear you down, I'm gonna build you back up. I'm telling you, told you that you didn't have the leverage. You ain't got it. You don't know what the hell you doing. You out here playing games. You doing all the things that's not best for you. And then I told you how to leverage yourself. You don't gotta have 15 trucks to have leverage. Those trucks cost me money. So that was me purchasing my leverage. You may have to purchase your leverage in a different way. You're in a different lane. I'm going to get in good with the powers that be. I'm going to get in good with the people who control the freight. They need to know my name. They don't know your name. The difference between you and the other carrier that they know their name on a first name basis, I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. They're gonna get a better rate than you. Because while you in the truck stop on the phone with your boo bay, they looking for the nearest pizza place, seeing on Grubhub what's the nearest pizza place so they can send 10 pizzas over to the office or 5 pizzas over to the office and some sodas. They trying to set they leverage up for next week. Fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and spend this little 150 so I can make this 5,000 next week. You barely making 25, 2,500, 3,000 on the growth side. They spend 150 so they can make sure they got a nickel next week. You see what I'm saying? That's leverage. See, you got the leverage because they know your name over the people who they don't know their name. See, if I was in OTR Middlemount, I'm gonna let all these little guys continue to play in their ass and do all the dumb shit. And me, I got me about 4 or 5 brokers. I'm gonna spend the bread. It ain't nothing. You know why? Because I'm writing it off anyway. I'm gonna write it off anyway. I'm just gonna buy. Oh, that's Mark. Yeah, call Mark. Hey, we got this load, man. Yeah. Hey, no, don't even put it. Just call Mark. Hey, it's just like buying a house off the market. Oh, we ain't gonna put this on. We ain't gonna put this. You know, banks have properties that they don't even put on the market because you know what? They got big time clients that own a lot of property and they can call. They call them first. Like, yo, we got this property under foreclosure. You know, it's in our portfolio. We're just tired of spending money on property preservation. We're gonna list it. We're thinking about listing it and selling this. But you know what? We wanted to give you a call first to see if you wanted to add it to your portfolio. It's a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2.5 car garage. Man, we're gonna let it go for a little nothing. You wanna go take a look at it before we list it? Same shit here. The difference between That person, because I know people who buy property, it never hits the market. Why? Because the bank knows their name, because they do big business. Keyword business. A lot of y'all not doing business. It's more to owning a business than just owning a business. You have to own the business and do business. A lot of y'all not doing business. Oh man, you got to build relationships. That's something I hear people say because they heard somebody else say, "Oh, you got to build relationships." Well, how you think you build them? By just calling them every day? That ain't shit. You ain't the only one calling them. Oh, I saw this load on the load, boy. Man, I saw this load. Yo, and I got this coffee. I got these pizzas. Fucking with me, you only gonna have to buy lunch once a week if need be. I told you, if I ever run OTR, I'm gonna make it bad for a lot of people. In more ways than one. More ways than just taking the freight that you gonna consider, oh man, you taking trip freight. I'm gonna take it, I want to take it all. God willing. I'm gonna do everything in my power to get as much as I possibly can and to cut everybody out. I want to cut you out. I told you, I don't want you to make nothing. That's the point. I'm in competition. I don't want you to make nothing. If it's got to be me or you that make the money, God damn it, it's got to be me. And I got to do whatever I got to do to make sure that the opportunity comes to me and not you. I want it to come to me. Stop just thinking you got a business and it just stops there. Stop just saying, oh, I got a box truck business and leaving it there. You also have to do business. And that's the problem. That's the moral of everything that I just said. A lot of people ain't out here doing business. They not willing and dealing. Learn how to will and deal. All your favorite movies, all the movies that you guys love to watch that are timeless movies, whether they're movies of legal business or whether they're movies of illegal businesses, you always see people kicking up to the top. Why you think a lot of meetings with a lot of the big wigs, where you think a lot of these meets happen at? A lot of deals get done on the golf course. Why you think all these big time corporate people, all these people that are in big business play golf? You think they play golf because it's fucking fun? Some probably the boringest shit ever. Because a lot of deals get done on the golf course. And guess what? A lot of these country clubs are very, very expensive. A lot of those cigars that the person who's trying to close a deal and invited said person onto the golf course for 9 holes and some business talk, paying for the fucking uh 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 the the country club, the fucking cigars, all that's associated with it, it costs. It's a write-off, but this is an investment to get in front of somebody to sell myself or sell whatever it is that I'm trying to get them to buy into, form of kicking it up to the top. Let me take you out. Why do you think businesses in a lot of the major cities buy skyboxes? A lot of these skyboxes, you might go to a game and you look up in the skyboxes, you see this skybox, the lighters on, and you'll see people up there having a good time. But then the next two skyboxes, the lights are off. Then the next skybox over, the lights are on, and you'll see people. All these skyboxes are 100% sold for the season, right? And majority of them are owned by corporate companies for the most part, right? And what happens is they may have a client in town, or they may invite a client in town, and they have their meetings during the day. The client may be in town 2 or 3 days. They do their corporate stuff, but then you know what? There's a game in town. They schedule the meetings when they know there's a game, a home game. Then, all right, we're going to continue this at the game. Let's cut this first day short. Right, we got a skybox. Company owns a skybox at the United Center. The Bulls are playing LeBron, and Bronny's in LA, and LeBron, this is his farewell with his son. So we're gonna go catch the game. It's the hottest ticket in town. We're gonna go over to the skybox and we'll just wrap it up later. We're sending you a car service. All right, car service would be game starts at 7. You're not far from the United Center. Car service should be there around 6:15, and we'll rendezvous in the skybox. They get to the skybox. It's catered. Do y'all want to talk business, or y'all want to still play these little bitty penny ante ass games, or can we talk business? They'll get to the skybox. It's catered. They got their choice of all the finest dishes that Chicago has to offer: Chicago style pizza, Chicago style dog, Chicago style Polishes, all top shelf liquor. Not really paying too much attention to the game, just talking, chatting up business. All write-offs, but leveraging themselves, getting in good, right? Because clearly this is somebody we want to either buy what we're selling, or we're trying to get in good with them for some type of reason. We're trying to get in good with them for whatever reason. But we're trying to sell ourselves to get them to buy into us. We may be Nvidia. We're trying to sell this chip to Tesla or something. I don't know. But they're looking at some Chinese company or some shit. But we want them to go with us because this is a 8-figure deal. So if we gotta fucking feed them and take them to a Cubs game in the skybox or a Bulls game in the skybox, have 9 rounds of golf, 9 holes of golf, and we gotta do all this shit for 2 or 3 days to ultimately sway them into buying. If we gotta spend that little money to sway them, then so be it. Because the money we spent parading them around town and showing them a good time, and these big companies sending them their favorite escort. You did what I'm saying? For us to clear an 8-figure deal, then so be it. See, some of y'all don't know what goes on up in them suites. Y'all be thinking that's somebody who rented the suite or bought the suite for the day. No, it don't work like that. Them suites are corporate owned for the most part. You'll be lucky if you can get floor seats, season ticket floor seats in some of these markets. You in a big market like Chicago, New York, LA, man, all these suites is owned all by big corporate companies. It's a waiting list. They just keep renewing the shit every year. It's nothing to them. It's a write off anyway. They only getting it to host clients when they got clients in town. For the most part, the fucking lights be off in a lot of those corporate suites. Most of the time, they don't go to a lot of those games. But when they up there hosting clients, that's what you call doing business. You got to learn how to do business, man. Wait, what happened? Somebody said, what happened? That one said, oh, okay. Well, so that one said sounding real arrogant. When was I talking about anything that I was doing? I'm telling people what they got to do. See, that's the difference between somebody who understands and somebody who doesn't. Like last I looked from experience and just being involved in trucking, last time I looked, trucking was very cutthroat. Now I can get arrogant, but I haven't said anything about me. I haven't said anything about my finances or anything arrogant. Now, where he might get upset, probably because maybe of the way that I present the content. But if this is your first time here, then you don't understand why I do it the way I do it. So peace. You getting deep tonight, Mark. They up there talking and talk. Damn, big brother, I never knew that man. I didn't think he just lost in the sauce. Uh, See, the thing about, listen, if I want to talk that shit, I could talk it. I could talk it probably better than most people. You see what I'm saying? But I don't. It's a lot of shit that I could show people, and I don't. You know how long people said, "Oh man, Mark, ain't no receipts, ain't no receipts, man. He said he did this, he said he did that for 2 years, over a year and a half. Ain't no receipts, ain't no receipts. We need to see receipts." And I said, well, listen, I'm not going to show somebody something just because they challenging me on it. I'm not. That's just not who I am. Because once you start doing that, then you're gonna always do it. I move how I want to move when I want to move. You can sit here and listen to it, or you don't have to. What's known don't need to be explained. Trust me, I could crush a lot of people feelings and hurt a lot of people feelings. But I think I'm probably one of the most humblest box truck content creators. You don't see me showing lifestyle or none of that shit. I get on here, I talk business. I talk business and I do it pro bono. Ain't nobody sponsoring this channel. Ain't nobody did nothing for this channel. The fucking companies won't fuck with me because I tell people the real. Why? Because their objective is to increase their bottom line. And how do they increase their bottom line? On naive business owners. So if I'm sitting up here on my fucking time giving people all the tools that they need to be successful and not get taken advantage of pro bono, everything that I kick, if I wanted to package it up, I could, but I don't. So I think I'm probably one of the most humblest. I'm not one of the guys who started during the pandemic and ran up a bag off some courses and some mentorships. I wasn't creating content in 2021. I didn't take people's money and leave them hanging when the shit turned around. When the shit turned around and everybody spent all their money with these cats and then they left them high and dry, who they had to come to? And who's still here? You should, Mark. Real ones get motivated by seeing some of the stuff you work for. But here's the thing. The shit that I work for and obtain is not going to help you or the person who's trying to understand business learn how to be successful. It's not. Ultimately, what's going to help you learn how to be successful is the shit that I got up here from my experiences, right? So I rather spend more time focusing on, educating people than showing you that I can go to a club and buy a section and wear a $4,000 outfit and have pretty girls in my section or some shit like that. No, that shit ain't gonna help you. That shit ain't gonna help you. It's not gonna help you uh uh build a better business. It's not. If I want to show lifestyle, then I'll just create a whole another channel and show lifestyle. But I don't want to do that either because it's nobody's business. And the environment in the city that I'm in, I don't want to showcase certain shit. Mark, people want to eat, but unfortunately they get desperate. Let them get desperate. Desperation bring the wolves out. I said that 2 years ago. Like I'm in the crib, bro. Like y'all niggas be tweaking, bro. See, that be all these middle Americans, bro. You could tell somebody like a middle American by the shit they say. Type motherfucker that can walk out the door and leave they doors unlocked and shit, bro. That's be on here tweaking. All right, let me get back to these questions. Uh, it's cutthroat when you book a load and later the broker cancels because they gave it to their favorite carrier. Exactly. Same shit I'm saying. That's leverage. That's what we call stepping on next. You know how I be always talking about stepping on next? That person who booked and then got canceled, a big dog came in and stepped on that person's neck. Why? Because they had leverage, because they did everything that I told you to do on this live stream. And that goes back to everything I said, it's cutthroat. That person who got that load came in and took food out that person and out that person's kid's mouth. You think they gave a fuck about? Well, man, we already put it on somebody, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna cancel. Oh no, let them keep it. They already got it. Now let them keep it because they probably already counted that little money. Ain't no telling, man, what they probably really need that money. No, they didn't care. They said, man, yeah, take it off them. Let me get that. I'm in the area. Let me get that. Fuck, dude. I guess that's the cocky shit right there. Well, if that's the cocky shit, if you still here listening, then so be it. That's probably what he's talking about. Then so be it. Because I've always, you know, listen, I was a motherfucker. I was a motherfucker. Listen. If you was in the way, I had to get you gone. I had to get you up out of there. You in the way. Don't show up and get one of listen, don't show up. Don't show up. I already got 9 trucks on that route in that warehouse running that route. And every day they calling me. Don't be one of them carriers where I done had to cover your route. I had to send a 10th truck to cover your route for 4 or 5 days for a week. You know what I'm gonna say? Man, let me go ahead and get that, man. I've been sending this dude every morning. We've been covering dude route, man. Let me get that, man. Listen, if he ain't get his truck fixed in 2 more days, then man, you got it. We'll deal with him when he get his truck back. Oh, man, Mark, you bogus, man. His truck back, man. That ain't got nothing to do with me, fam. That's an opportunity. It's there. We've been running it. I use my leverage. Why? Because guess what? They understand that, man, Mark is running a quarter of this particular account. It's 43 routes for this particular account. Mark running 9 of them. That's leverage. So man, let me get that. Well, man, Mark, his truck broke down. He gonna come back to nothing. You know why? Because somebody will do it to me. So if that's cocky, then yeah, that's cocky. Fuck it. Why? But that's business. It's cutthroat. What happened to Interstate Screw? He got on with RL carriers. Everybody know RL carriers is hard to get with. They pay exceptionally well for curbside. He got on, his truck broke down. You think they held on the 2 or 3 weeks for his truck to get fixed? Man, gave him a week. After a week, man, that route they went to somebody else. He still ain't back with RL carriers last time I talked to him. Now, what could he have did? Yeah, he should have went out and rented a truck, but he didn't. So, do you think the person who took that heavily coveted account, everybody knows it's hard to get a curbside account with RL carriers, and they play exceptionally well. And if the opportunity lands on your doorstep, you got to keep it. So that person who probably was on a fucking waiting list got their call. You think they're gonna be like, oh well, man, dude, truck broke down. I ain't gonna do it. No, they took it. Like, why do people think that business is like buddy? What your buddy say? Your boy over there, buddy. Ain't no buddy. Ain't no friends in business. None. None. The same people that's my subscribers that come to me for knowledge and information. If you could be my subscriber and we could cross paths in business, and for that split second in business, I'm finna rip your head off. And then we can be comrades on the live stream later that night. Man, Mark, you did me. Hey, it was business, but we cool now. We on the live stream. Let's not talk about that right now. But run across me on a business deal. It's not personal. It's business. It's dog eat dog. Like, why is it every once in a while somebody come in and they get sympathetic and all soft and moist and shit? Get that shit out your heart. Hey, do me a favor. Travel back in time to the 2000s, to the late 90s and the 2000s, and find every single general merchandise, mom and pop owned general merchandise store, and let me know how the fuck they feel when Walmart came to town. Go ask all the Waltons, all Sam Walton's grandkids, all the ones that you see in the Forbes that are billionaires, all the Waltons that are billionaires. Ask them, do they feel bad about putting damn near every single mom and pop general merchandise store across the country out of business in the 90s and the 2000s? Ask me how the fuck they feel about that shit. Ask Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, do you feel bad about Barnes and Nobles and Borders? I pretty much know how he's going to answer that question. I pretty much got an idea of how he's going to answer the question. Yeah, yeah. I think I know how he's going to answer. I think I got an idea how he would answer that question. Mhm. Can somebody find me a mom and pop general merchandise store in a urban area anywhere in this country? Does one still exist? Please let me know. There may be one. It used to be a bunch of them back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. Fuck the mom and the pops. What about the other big box ones? Sears, Montgomery Wards, Kmart, Venture, Zare, Service Merchandise. Listen, some of y'all like, what the fuck is he naming? Some of y'all too young to even know what these stores are. My point exactly. If you're a Generation Z, you probably never heard of those stores before. Guess why they're not here anymore? You want to switch over to technology? Generation Z, have you ever heard of a TV company called Zenith? Who remembers Zenith? They were manufactured right here, right outside Chicago in Melrose Park. Big manufacturing plant right outside city of Chicago in Melrose Park. Zenith, yeah. Once the Asians start making TVs, LG, Samsung, that market transitioned over to Asia. Zenith no longer exists. You think the Asians that creates the TCL TV, Samsung, LG, all these Asian technology electronic companies, you think they gave a care that they put all the domestic TV manufacturers out of business? I guess that's arrogant, right? Listen, free enterprise. And this is why people don't succeed in business. You get caught in your feelings because you listen to how a person talk, which really ain't talking bad. They telling you how business works, and you think it's arrogant because you feel like you deserve something. You don't deserve shit. Who says you deserve something? You don't deserve shit. You get what you negotiate, you get what you earn. If you don't negotiate, you don't go out and earn it, it's just not gonna fall in your lap. I understand business. I understand I could be here today and gone tomorrow. Anything that I invest in, I could be winning today and gone tomorrow. And the next person and all these companies that have replaced and put out of business all those older companies during the process of them building to become successful, they had stepping on their necks in the back of their mind. I mean, it's plenty more stores that I could have named. I know I could name a lot of stores that are no longer here. Look at Red Lobster. Why y'all ain't going to Red Lobster no more? Should we feel bad for Red Lobster? Honestly. Or is that arrogant? Should we feel bad for Red Lobster? Why? Okay, so boom. Let's dissect Red Lobster. See, this is business. I love talking business. Let's talk business. What happened to Red Lobster? What could have Red Lobster did to still be relevant? How long was the endless shrimp going to get them over the top? You got fucking restaurants now, experience-based restaurants that are bringing dishes out with fucking volcano shit coming out of it, fucking smoke, fucking falling all over. You got dishes that are coming out, they're lighting the whole plate on fire. They bringing out the whole platter with the goddamn alligator on it or the pig on it, sticking a fucking stick up his ass and roasting it in front of you. You're paying $1,000 for it. They got the fucking dude out there in Vegas that comes and slices the little midget guy. He's slicing, doing all that shit. You got the other little Asian guy that comes and does this with the salt. All these are experience-based restaurants. Why? Because that's what the younger generation like. They want to come, they want to fucking sit down at a table with 10 of their friends, pay $1,000 to have a whole alligator come out on a fucking platter with a fucking stick up his ass and an apple in his mouth. So they can sit there and have a social experience and have a fucking phone out and videotape it and put it on their Snappy Chat and their TikTok. You don't get that type of experience at Red Lobster. There's nothing to TikTok at Red Lobster. There's nothing to fucking Snappy Chat at Red Lobster. So the boomers who made Red Lobster what it is, because prior to all these experience-based restaurants that you have now, Red Lobster was once one of those restaurants that was considered creme de la creme. You would go in at the front, you'd have a tank about the size of this, about a 125 gallon, and there would be lobsters in there. And while you're waiting for them to take you to the table, your little kid is like, oh, he's touching the glass. Don't touch the glass. They have the little siren, don't touch the glass. And you see the lobster right there. Listen, Red Lobster still has fucking carpet on the floor. This is why they're failing and they're going bankrupt, because they haven't switched their business model. The same reason Toys R Us is no longer here. The same reason Borders is no longer here. The same reason Montgomery Ward, Sears, Ames, Venture, Service Merchandise, the list goes on. Venture, Kmart. They didn't change. Red Lobster still has carpet on the ground like it's 1987. They still have carpet. They didn't change. That's why they're no longer here, or that's why they're going bankrupt. My hand itching. I must gonna make me a lot of more money. So you don't want to end up. And here's another thing: case studies. You know why I know all this stuff? Because I study this stuff. I do case studies. Case studies on why other businesses succeeded or failed will ultimately help you with your business. There's enough case studies to go around. If you're a business owner, you should be intrigued with business. The reason why I can sit up here and talk and talk and talk and talk about business and not get tripped up and can do 2 and 3 and 4 hour live streams is because I'm well versed in business. And I don't necessarily always talk about my business. I give you case studies in other industries like I'm doing right now. Shit ain't hard. It's easier now. Why? You got the information highway. You got the information highway. It's simple, bro. Now I get it. LOL, Red Lobster ain't got nothing on sexy fish. Well, hey, another way to look at it. Ashley, you're what, 27, 28? Your generation, probably even you. You probably don't. When is the last time you've been to Red Lobster? What's exciting about it to a younger generation who's tapped into social media, who can't keep their, who has to post and has to show their journey in life, and especially when they go out and dine. The younger generation doesn't want to show they went to Red Lobster. That's where the old folks go. The old folks go to Red Lobster. FAO Schwartz. FAO Schwartz. Rich, you from Chicago. FAO Schwartz was downtown right across from the water tower. Used to go up the escalator at FAO Schwartz and look at all the expensive toys with the big fucking nutcracker. Right there where H&M is at. Right across from the water tower. A lot of people don't know what FAO Schwartz is. It was a high-end toy store back in the day. Adapt or drown, basically. Exactly. Somebody said Olive Garden is next. I think all the traditional restaurants are slowly going to go out. I mean, shit, Grand Lux is no longer here in Chicago. We don't even have Grand Lux anymore. That's gone. Eddie V's is gone. Ruth Chris has left Chicago. There's one still in the suburbs, but how's it one in the suburbs and not a Ruth Chris downtown Chicago? It's gone. Signature Room is gone. Three Forks is gone. All the traditional restaurants. These are restaurants. These are staples that when I was coming up, if I took a chick out on a date to the Signature Room, it was a big fucking deal. I remember when Grand Lux used to be a big deal. Grand Lux, once upon a time, used to be a big deal. Now you got chicks on Instagram talk about, oh, you can't take me to a first date at cheesecake. Man, I wish a chick would tell me, yo, I can't take them to cheesecake. Ever since that chick said that dumb shit, I've been taking first dates. I'm going to Cheesecake Factory. I wish you would tell me some goofy shit like that. But once upon a time, Grand Lux was was one of them spots. Three Forks was one of them spots. Eddie V's one of them spots. The crab fried rice. What? Is you kidding me? These are creme de la creme steakhouses. So in every industry, you got to adapt. You can't go around complaining about what rates are and shit. Adapt to what it is. Learn how to operate your business in the current climate and make money. And don't complain. Go out and get it. A business owner don't complain. They go adapt. Yo, what am I doing wrong? All right, man, I got to cut. I got to cut. And do it and keep it moving. Do that and keep that shit moving. Keep it trucking. Keep it trucking. Benihana, cheddar biscuits. Olive Garden may be gone in 5 years, but it's crazy in Houston. Yeah, all these traditional restaurants are gonna are if things continue to go the way that they're going with the younger generation, and you have more restaurant tours that are continue to create new ideas to ultimately drive people into their restaurant and be more creative and do more creative, fun things. Because ultimately, here's how a restaurateur thinks now versus how a restaurateur would think back in the day. A restaurateur back in the day would think about having a great menu, having a great variety of entrees, good appetizers, good sides, decorum, right? As far as the furniture and things of that nature, and good customer service, right? A restaurateur now is thinking about social media influence. Social media influence is very high, right? So down to, and I'm gonna give you some insight. Let me turn my AC on. Hey Siri, hold on. Let me turn it on. So we had a restaurant, a big restaurant. I think it's the largest restaurant conference was hosted here last week. So there was a lot of corporate people. Hey, hey, no, Siri, cancel. So there was a big restaurant conference here last week, and I was sitting eating lunch at a bar with one of the people that was here for the conference, uh, corporate, right? Corporate from Potbellies, right? And we were talking, and she gave me insight. She said, "Well, the restaurateur who's building a restaurant now is looking at social media influence, right? They have to create an experience and an ambiance and the menu that is going to get them popular on social media, right? They have to create dishes and they have to create an experience that when people come in, they're going to want to videotape it. They're going to want to take pictures because the more pictures the people take, the more videos they take and tag the restaurant, the more people that are going to come in and want to experience that same experience. And obviously, the more foot traffic, the more revenue. So as long as social media is around, you're going to have more experience-based restaurants. And the more experience-based restaurants that are out there, the more restaurants that the younger people are going to want to try. And that's going to take foot traffic away from the traditional restaurants because the people that frequented the traditional restaurants from the boomers to Generation X are dying. The boomers are dying. So Generation Z ain't going there. And the generation that does go there, less of them are going there because they're dying. So it's going to be a lot of traditional restaurants that as time goes on, if they don't change their business model, if they don't hire someone that can bring in fresh ideas and revamp so that they can stay around, they're going to die. And that's what happens when you have these big corporate companies and you got all these older guys that sit on the board. They get stuck in their ways and they don't want to spend the money on R&D, right? They don't want to spend the money on R&D. They don't want to bring in someone young and vibrant with fresh ideas to ramp up the business and stay in business. They just rather die out. Same thing with this box truck thing. Listen, you gotta adapt. If one thing ain't working, you need to sit at the table, figure out why it's not working, and revamp and or transition. Apple, they need innovation. Steve Jobs is gonna hunt them. Well, I think Apple, just like most companies, you know, So a lot of companies, especially like tech companies, you'll see they'll be innovating, right? They'll innovate. They have all these fresh ideas and they're innovating. And then you see rapid constant growth, sort of kind of what you're seeing with NVIDIA right now. And then what happens is they climax, they reach the pinnacle, right? And then you see a decline, right? And then you see growth slower over a period of years, right? What you're seeing with NVIDIA now is similar to what you're seeing with Apple during its rise. What you're seeing with a lot of other tech companies, Google, Netflix, right? When they're new and they're innovative and they're fresh, they have a ton of ideas and they're constantly innovating. You see them just continue to skyrocket. They're parabolic, but eventually they hit their climax. They hit their stride. It's what it's called. Tesla, I believe, is at that point right now. If you look at any company, you'll see a similar chart. NVIDIA is going through that parabolic phase. All right. When you look at the 5 stages of growth, your business owner is 5 stages to growth. What NVIDIA is going through right now is the takeoff phase, which is stage 4. And for those of you that was on the earnings call with me the other day, you saw the projected sales for the next 4 years. And what happened? You sold them. You saw those. You saw that taper off, right? 25%, and I think it was like 15% and 9%, and then 3 or 4.5%, whatever it was. They're only going to be able to innovate at the rate that they're innovating right now for so long. They're going to hit their stride, and then it's going to start to taper down. And it's Apple, okay, well they got computers, they got phones, they got iPads, they got watches. They're buying other technology, right? They got TV, Apple TV. They're a multi-trillion dollar company. They have plenty of cash. They probably have the most cash out of any company in the world. They've hit their stride already. They'll probably end up buying Rivian or an EV company. They're probably going to buy, or I think they're already a customer of NVIDIA. So they're going to buy AI. They've hit their stride already. The companies that you want to look out for is NVIDIA, and I'm going to give people a secret. You want to look into Sam Altman and OpenAI. These are companies, especially OpenAI, that have a while to go before they hit their stride. This is why we do so good in the market, because we're constantly looking for the next big thing. We know what it feels like to miss out on Netflix. I know what it feels like to miss out on a lot of companies that when I first started making money a long time ago and I wasn't into these things, right? That I missed out on. Every time I see the price of Amazon back in 2010 and 2011 and Netflix back in 2010 and 2011 and and a lot of the Magnificent Seven, I could have easily dollar cost averaging 10, $15 a day easily. But I didn't. Why? I didn't have the knowledge that I obtained 4 or 5 years down the road. And even with me obtaining the knowledge, I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am today. I didn't know what companies to invest in. I didn't know how to research some certain companies. I didn't know how to do a deep dive analysis. I didn't understand that instead of looking just for what's in now, the next best thing, understanding what the next best thing is, what that presents is you the opportunity to buy in early. so that you can already be in position when the shit starts running up. The people who bought into Nvidia early, those are the people that are winning now, not the people that are chasing the bandwagon. The only people that's winning in Nvidia right now is chasing the bandwagon is the people that got millions to dump in. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Let's see what's going on. Hold on. It's still, who was he talking about? It's 2 years old, so he must have. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think anything that I said, and this is responding to that gentleman. I don't think anything that I've said is bad. You know, right now I'm talking about investing in why it's good to be an early adopter. So if a person agrees that investing in something early is being a yes man, then I don't know. I think what it is here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is why I never blocked Derek Jackson. I let him live. He hasn't said anything to me. Well, I haven't caught it, but here's the thing. There's at least once or twice a week, I do a show. And what I do is I put a link, right? I put a link and then I pin it, right? So still to this day, anybody that has anything where they want to debate, they have an open door policy, but no one ever comes up. It's easy to debate from the chat when I'm not looking. And then when I look, I see whatever's going on, right? But yesterday the link was pinned. There was earlier this week the link was pinned. Last week the link was pinned. There's always the link pinned. I'm not one of those people that block you. I drop the link, right? I'll drop the link. I'll bring you up and we can debate. I actually was asking somebody to come up yesterday. What happens is no one comes up, right? No one comes up. The people who have the few people that got so much to say, they never hit the link. They never hit the link. That's why I dropped the link. I watch other people, they never drop the link. You know why? Because they don't want you to come up because you might be smarter than them. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. This is why I dropped the link. So anybody that you got something to say, you're welcome to hit the link. On the call-in show day, I noticed none of those people ever are around. They never around. When it's a day where it's not a drop the link day, they around. If someone you don't like, why do you watch? Why do you watch? I don't get it. So the link be dropped. The link be dropped. Just hit the link. Hit the link. It ain't no big deal. And we can hit the link and we can kick it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ducking no smoke. I'm inviting it. I'm inviting it. So you see what I'm saying? That's all. Derek Jackson, he always, challenges me. I ain't tweaking with him. He know the link. He know to drop the link show. You know we got to drop the link show. He can come on up. Give a 22-year-old good word of advice. All right. 22-year-old good word of advice. What I would do is I would continue to stay at home with my parents. If you want to start this business, is this why you're here? Because you want to start this business? I would start from humble beginnings. I would work very, very hard, very, very diligent. I would stay at home. I would practice delayed gratification. I would research this industry as much as possible. I would scale very, very slowly. I would continue to stay at home. I would invest money that was profit, the money that you coming in that's profit. I would invest that into other things that are passive, right? Whatever you like, whatever you research, whatever you're educating yourself in, that's passive, whether it be real estate, stock, whatever, right? I would create an exit strategy. I would not have kids out of wedlock. I would put God first, then the business, and then everything else. And you should see success. It's not hard, man. Just, understand what you investing in, work really, really hard. Don't do anything that's gonna, trick you up out your bag, right? Practice delayed gratification. Take your profit, invest it into things that are going to bring you passive income, understanding the strategy where you letting your money work for you. Anything that's going to slow you down. And when I say like that earlier, I don't want not trying to offend anybody, but you 22. A lot of people that could go back, they would do a lot of things different. You got people that'll say, you know what? If I could be 22 years old again, I would have never robbed that lady because robbing that lady, it it cost me 5 years of my life. And if I was 22 years old again, I would have never hollered at old girl in the club because she tricked me. She tricked me. I love my kid. I love my daughter. I love my son, but she tricked me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things a lot of people would do. So you got a fresh start that a lot of people wish they could get that fresh start over again. So do everything right. All right. And then you won't have to be 40 and 50 years old trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. See, the thing is, a lot of people piss their 20s and piss their 30s away, right? And then when they get in their 40s, now they want to sit up there and be mature. Nah, man, you ain't got that luxury. If you do everything you supposed to do early, especially at 22, man, you could probably be retired by the time you're 35. You could have a portfolio of passive income where your money is working for you and you're not working for money. And you'll still be young. You can do all the fun things that you want to do. But if you practice a little delayed gratification, you'll see success. It ain't hard. Just stay away from TikTok and Instagram and you'll be straight. Uh, y'all seen that commercial? You working at 102 years old? And check it out. It's a lot of people that's working. Y'all hear me talk about the people who work and then retire and then have to go get a part-time job, like your Walmart greeter, not the special needs Walmart greeter. I'm talking about the old lady or the old man. 9 times out of 10, that old lady or old man you see at Walmart retired. You don't want to be that person. The people that's coming into y'all see them come up on the channel all the time. They say, man, they wish they would have. It was a guy came up yesterday, said he had just got out the joint or he did some years or whatever. All these people that did time or made mistakes early on in life, if they could do it all over again, they would. All right. If you have the youth on your side, you use other people's stories and make it to push you in the right direction and make better decisions for yourself. Listen, I'll never forget. Let me keep it funky with y'all. I had a homie. I had to be about 19 or 20. One of my homies got burnt. The chick burnt him, right? He called me to take him to the clinic, right? This is a grown man. Well, we was about 19, 20. But this dude, he's like 6'3", 6'4", in my passenger seat crying because he's burning. That was enough to scare me to not make the dumbest mistake he made. Because whatever he was feeling, I didn't want to feel that. I didn't want to be him. I didn't want to be calling him, crying and telling him to take me to this place. So when I took him there, they had a big old garbage pail. I made sure I grabbed as many of them as I could because I didn't want to experience that. I learned from him being a retard. So when you listen, anybody that I come across, I don't judge them. I listen to everything they say. It may seem like I'm not paying attention, but I'm listening. I listen to people's wins and listen to people's pitfalls because you can learn from both. Even homeless people. Listen, some of the best conversations I've had is with homeless people. Whenever I got money, loose change, some dollars in my pocket, I give it to a homeless person. Sometimes they'll just say thank you. Some homeless people won't even say nothing. And then sometimes some homeless people want to have a conversation with you. A lot of homeless people are very, very intelligent, but they get judged because they're homeless. I've met homeless people who were rich and they might have lost everything or they went through a divorce or their significant other or partner died and then they just kind of lost it and spiraled out of control. Not everything is drug induced. Sometimes life just lifes and sometimes some people can't handle it. All right. But I've had really, really intelligent conversations with people that are less fortunate and I listen to what they say and I keep what they say in the back of my mind, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, then I keep that in the back of my mind. I don't judge nobody. You can learn from a dummy. If I was 22, I would do a lot of things different, right? And I didn't do anything bad, right? When I say I would do things different, if I could do it all over again, me personally, and I'm not saying the next person should do this, I feel like to me, college was a waste of time. I wouldn't have went to college. If I could do everything all over again, I wouldn't have went to college. That was 5 years. I could have just got to it. Why? Because everything I knew, I was already advanced, education wise, because my mother was an educator. So, I was always ahead. Why? Because I was learning in school and then I was getting taught at home. Now, the things that I do remember from college, I could have taught myself that stuff where those little lessons that I learned, I would have eventually learned those with trial and error, right? But I felt like those 5 years, I would have had a 5 year head start. I feel like the money that my mother invested in that education, I feel like I would have been better off without it. Well, not better off without it because I did learn, but I feel like I didn't the value. I felt that what was paid, I didn't get the value in return. Right? That's what I would have did. You know, if I would have did that, or if I would have had someone to tell me the answers that I just gave you, I would have had a 5 year head start. But I didn't. Right? I was talking to my homie the other day, uh, and we was talking about how our generation, how our parents just work, 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 work. They really didn't instill in us, you know, and have those conversations with us about financial education. Like you have other ethnicities and other groups and other uh, demographics of people where they're taught generational wealth very, very, very early on, right? Our people just work, 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 work so that we can leave something behind, right? I got to witness my parent work, 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 work. That's where I got that work ethic from. But the financial, as far as the things that I had to teach myself, as far as investing outside, because because I'm an entrepreneur, I have to do these things for myself and educate myself on investments and what companies to invest into and things like that. I had to learn that on my own. I didn't have anybody uh, to teach me that. And I feel like 22 years, people in your age range that are 22, you have the internet, you have people like me that you can ask questions and I can help guide you in the right direction. Um, but you just can't get distracted. In your 20s, it's easy to get distracted, especially now with social media, right? There's so much distractions now. There was less distractions, when I was 22 in 2002, right? Uh, but there's a lot more distractions now. As long as you don't get distracted and you keep your eye on the prize, and you should be fine. What's happening June 10th? June 10th, Nvidia is doing a 10 for 1 split. So wherever the price is on June 10th, you'll get 10 shares for one. So if it's $1,000, if you got one share and it's $1,000 on June 9th, on June 10th, that $1,000 will get split into 10 shares of $100 a piece. And it's a possibility now, if it runs up again, now you got 10 shares that, let's say it runs back up to $1,000 in 2 years. Now your $1,000 is turned into $10,000. Right. So for every share you have, it will get split into 10 shares. So it'll still be pretty much the same dollar amount, but you'll have more opportunity over the course of however many years for it to scale back up to where it's at. So, but basically, with the reason why they're doing the split is they're just making it more affordable for investors to invest in. Really, retail investors, right? Institutional investors don't matter. They got the bread. I don't think BlackRock or Grayscale is tripping uh, over $1,000 a share. Right? What sets successful and unsuccessful people apart? Mindset. Mindset. That's it. Mindset. A person who's successful is doing everything that's best for them. A person that's unsuccessful is focused on everything that's not best for them. And that's just period. That's period. You know, and that's it. You that's why you got the haves and the have-nots. You know, that middle class ain't that shit is gonna be null and void. Middle class is the ones that struggle the most. You either have or have not. The have nots, the the lower class and the people in poverty, they don't care because the government taking care of them. They got Section 8, you know, they got Link, ABT or whatever. Uh, they getting a free ride. They paying $12 for rent. They getting food for free. The more kids you have, the more money they putting on the EBT card. And she getting cash. So she getting cash, she getting food, and she paying $12 rent. She not supposed to have a man in there, but you know she gonna stick she gonna sneak man in there. And on inspection day, listen, you know, make sure man Timberlands ain't at the front door because a man ain't supposed to be in here. So and man living scot free because she got 5 or 6 kids. And what she getting? What two? What they pay you for each kid? Like 200 or 300 for each kid on the link card. So she getting over $1,000 in food. So man eating good. He living rent free. She only paying $12 a month. She getting cash. She done went and signed up for DoorDash, right? Because man can't sign up for it because he got a felony. So she went and signed up for it. That's why when I order my vegetarian bowl, my Asiago bowls, and all these types of vegetarian meals, when I order these things on Uber Eats, right, and I get the notification that Ashley, not you, but another Ashley, this red bone Ashley. I'm looking at Ashley. I'm like, damn, Ashley look decent. I bet I'm gonna have to go down. Let me throw on these. Let me throw on something decent so I can go down. Cause you can't in my building, they won't let you come up no more. So I gotta go down. Let me throw on something decent. Let me see what the body look like. The face looking good. Throw this shit on real quick. So when I go down and get my vegetarian bowl from Ashley, I can see what she look like. She might be bodied up too. I get downstairs and this man. Whoa, I wasn't expecting you, man. Where the fuck Ashley? I see Ashley. But when I'm on trip, my food is here. So I ain't really tripping. So Ashley is signing up because Man can't. And then Man going in the restaurant, showing them the phone. They giving Man, the restaurant don't give a fuck. All they see is the phone and the order match up. So they giving Man the food. And then Man deliver. I can't trip because the food here. But really, I'm thinking Ashley finna show up. I didn't put on a decent shirt. I done came out to George. I done put on the Christian Dior. I done threw on the Christian Dior shoes. I didn't even have this shit on. I'm looking at Ashley. I'm like, damn, let me go holler at Ashley. She doing, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what she talking about. You know what I'm saying? And Man pulled up in a Kia Optima. Man done pulled up in a Kia Optima. Blasting finesse 2 times. He blasting finesse 2 times. There's smoke coming out the window. Mark, all right, man. What's your code? What's your code? What's your code? So every time I order food, it's never Keisha or Ashley or Tammy. It's never them. The only time it show a woman and a woman actually come is if it say Guadalupe, Maria, some shit like that, right? Then it be them. But if it's like Shantae, uh 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 Tamika, some shit like that, it's always Man Man that pull up. Always Man Man. Teacher said they be letting their sons use the app too. Well, the thing is, I don't want to see their sons. I want Tamika or Ashley or Shantae to pull up with my shit. I don't want to see Man Man. I don't want Man Man bringing me my food. You feel me? I want to see. I want to see. Uh, I want to see Tammy, Tamika, Keisha, Shantae. You smell? You smell me? All right, let me see. I see another question. Hello from Russia. What kind of fish you got in the tank? I got a liberifer, a blood parrot, an albino Oscar, a red shoulder severum, and about 11 tinfoil barbs. I mean silver dollars, not tinfoil barbs. About 11 silver dollars and an albino pleco. They not swimming. The other day they were swimming back and forth. They kind of chilling right now. The whole silver dollars on that side. On that side, it's a 125. So you're not getting the full view of the whole tank. You're just getting the center view. But I got a whole school of silver dollars on that side. It's about 11 of them. They schooling fish, so they swim in packs. And then all the bigger fish, for some reason, is on this side chilling. So it's late, so they probably tired. But yeah, I'll bring you some food. I'm chilling today. I ain't ordering nothing today. I wanted to see Fantasia pull up. Yep. So, all right, man. I guess I answered some questions, man. I think I'm done cooking. I'm pissing people off. People are upset and whining and crying and all this goofball ass shit. And you have every opportunity to hit that link. Every opportunity to hit that link. Nobody hits the link though. Don't forget the thoughts. They come with child support and stress. Yep. I don't have to worry about none of that shit though. You did. What kicked off spot rates? I talked about it in the earlier part of the lab about an hour ago. Hold on. Don't delete Dimitri. So Dimitri just came in. About 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago, I said if I could be 22 all over again, what would I do different? Can someone tell Dimitri what I said 15, 20 minutes ago? Because Dimitri Chavez thinks because I'm black. Can somebody please tell Dimitri Chavez that what I said 15 minutes ago, that if I was in my early 20s, what I would do all over again? Dimitri Chavez. Hold on, Dimitri Chavez. You finna get your answer in. No, not stay at home. Not stay at home. Not go to college. It was a waste of time. So to answer your question, Dimitri Chavez, yes, I went to college and I have a degree, right? Because I just was talking 15 minutes ago before you came in, trying to be a smart aleck, asking this question. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't went to college. And guess what? Everything that I accomplished, I would have accomplished it 5 years earlier. So to answer your question, I actually do have a degree. And on top of that, my mother is a retired educator. So not only was I taught in school, I was also taught in the household. Are you happy now, Dimitri? You want to debate? I don't debate for free. I don't debate for free. Don't. I want to see if he responds. Let's see if he responds. It's Friday night. I feel like tweaking out a little bit. We can tweak out a little bit. He, Dimitri came in. He came straight in on bullshit. What does a college degree? Let's say I didn't have one. Let's say I didn't have one. You have to have a college degree to be able to talk about your experiences. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have a college degree. There's a lot of other successful people that don't have college degrees. A college degree doesn't define if you are qualified to speak on something or not. Experience does. Trust me, if I'm in a small niche, Dimitri Chavez, very small, right? And in 2 years, I've obtained almost 30,000 subscribers, right? Which, according to YouTube scale, is way ahead. YouTube says it takes about 3 years to get 1,000 subscribers. The reason why I believe my channel grows exponentially is because of the value that I provide. People come, they listen. The majority of the people, there's people that listen, right? They come get the knowledge, but they don't like me personally. So they'll come listen, get the knowledge, apply it, but then they'll come because they don't like me personally, and that's okay. As long as I help them not be in poverty, that's cool with me. Um, um, and they apply it, they see it works, so they subscribe, right? The reason why they find value is because of the experience that I've had for a multitude of years. So I can point people in the right direction and give them the information that they need to succeed. I don't gatekeep. I don't withhold information. I give them everything that they need. And all the information that I provide on the channel, majority of it came from my experience. More than 90% of it came from my experience. The courses that I took in college, I went to college in 98. I graduated high school June of 98. I started college September of 98. A lot of the courses that I took and the teachings that I took from 98 to 2003 is not even a factor in today's society. International business. I don't remember shit from that shit. Business calculus. I've never had to use business calculus ever. Ever. Algebra with trigonometry. I've never had to use algebra with trigonometry since I left school. Never. Never. The biggest thing that I take away from college is the economic courses, the macro and the micro. And obviously, if you watch my channel, it's evident that I learned a lot in those economical courses because that's I believe one of the key factors that my channel is successful because I look at it and I teach people this business from an economical standpoint. Everything else, all those classes, waste of time in this field. Now, there's other things where college is needed. If you want to go learn coding, obviously you got to learn that, right? Cybersecurity, hey, you gotta get taught that. Auto mechanics, gotta get certified. There's things that you must go to college for. But this entrepreneurial thing, I would have been better off just taking just some basic introduction to business, liberal arts courses, and the economic courses, the 100 level and the 200 level economic courses, and I would have been all right. All that extra shit, I didn't need that shit. I don't. That shit don't even like who uses algebra with trigonometry? That was a waste of my OG's money. It's a waste. So he's is he still here? He probably not even here. See, they come in and when you hit them with some shit, they don't say nothing no more. They don't say nothing no more. See, those people like to prey on people who they can get the best of. Oh man, look at this guy with the dreads. He looks like a man. Looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Marketing, marketing courses. I think the strategies that were taught back in the late '90s and the earlier 2000s, those strategies are non-existent almost today. Why? Because a lot of the marketing, I'm sure, that's taught in school now are centered around probably social media. Social media didn't exist when I was in college, right? So a lot of the marketing, you know what, marketing did play a factor uh, when I was working for Def Jam with my, with the street team shit, right? But when I got in business and I was scaling my business, um, maybe some of it because I started in the early 2010s, but that was just common knowledge, like business cards and flyers, how to market the flyers. It was simple for me. Storage facilities. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm putting the product where people are looking to move, right? So majority of people who go to college don't even work in the field they got their degree in. Exactly. So I guess he's not in here no more. He's out of here. So he's gone. He's gone. Uh, We didn't have to block him. We didn't have to block him. See, have you graduated college, man? Please, I did. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of people, man, they hurt, man. They hurt. Feelings is hurt. A lot of people are really hurt. You know, a lot of people. Uh, I hope. I hope a lot of the haters. I hope one day they get a chance to like really, build a successful trucking business to scale. I hope they do. I pray that they do. I want them to, so they can stop being upset. All it takes is a little work and know-how, and stop worrying about all the shit that don't matter, like what other people got going on. See, that's the thing. When I was building my business, that was pretty much the only thing I was focused on. I wasn't focused on nobody else, nobody's business, what other motherfuckers had going on. I wasn't focused on none of that shit. All I was focused on was getting to the bag. That's it. And buying more trucks. That's it. I wasn't focused on shit else. That's it. Get into the bag, buy more trucks. Get into the bag, buy more trucks. That's it. Life is easy. People want to make it hard. So go ahead and make it hard then. You're gonna be doing everything that you don't want to do. Don't let that go over your head. I'm gonna be right here. Yeah, I'm talking to the fish, John. I'm gonna be right here. All right, hey, the Bert and the gamer. They love saying is that Snoop Dogg. These foreign trolls. We're gonna get him out of here. A lot of people are struggling in life. Not a lot of people are living the way they want to. The reason why is because mindset. So that question that you asked earlier, what determines successful people from unsuccessful people, is the mindset. Once a person gets in the right mind frame, they should be straight. You know, the right mind frame is gonna everything that I tell people what they need to do. You gotta have the right mind frame so that you can apply the shit. You might know what to do, but if you ain't got the right mind frame, you ain't gonna apply it. If you don't have a strong mindset, you're not gonna do it. So it is what it is. That's what determines success from unsuccessful people. Everybody got the same 24 hours in a day. It's all about how you use your 24. And that's it. Nice tank, bro. Appreciate it. Do you think Nvidia is still a good play, dollar cost averaging? Yeah, I increased my dollar cost averaging because it's a long term play, right? They finna split it June 10th, so it's finna get more shares anyway. So, I mean, increase the shares. It's gonna go down. You got Blackwell coming out. You got another chip coming out after that. So let's say it's at $1,000 June 10th. What do you do? To go down to 100. It's gonna continue to go up. We still in the beginning phases of the AI bubble. I think we still early in the AI bubble. I think Open AI has a lot to bring to the table. Sora isn't even available to the public yet. Wait till Sora gets into the hand of the public. There's still a lot of we're still early in AI. And goes back to what she asked, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Successful people are looking for the next big thing so they can be in early. unsuccessful people right now are trying to figure out what the fuck they finna put on so they can go out, take their check, spend it at somebody's nightclub, or they can go to one of those dinners that we talked about, knowing good and goddamn well they're not in a position to do that, but they want to go do it anyway because they feel like they done made it and they ain't made shit. So they're gonna go do it, and instead of taking that money and putting it somewhere where it's gonna make that money is gonna make more money, right? So that's where the delayed gratification comes in. And it is what it is. So, I think Nvidia is still has a ways to go. I think it has a ways to go. I think AI is that bubble. We're still a ways away before that bubble bursting. It's a bubble, but we still a ways away, right? I don't see another technology coming in other than RWAs, right? RWAs, but we already, if you're part of the members group, we already talked about RWAs, right? We already in RWA plays, right? We saw RWA play. I ain't gonna name it. That I told people that I invested in a month and a half ago. We saw it run up 20% today. So we diversified. When one sector is not having a good day, we got other sectors that we in that are. If AI ain't running, then we got our RWA plays. If those ain't running, layer ones might be running. If nothing on that side is running, then we got the Mag 7 that's doing something. Or we got Nvidia as an individual. Yesterday, we saw pretty much everything red, and the only thing was Nvidia. Why do you think that is? Because after the earnings call, people were selling their assets and people were selling other assets to buy into Nvidia. So that's why the whole market was red yesterday and Nvidia was green, because everybody was selling shit from everywhere else to put it over there. Because that's the play. That is what determines successful people from unsuccessful people. Knowing where to move your money to so that you can have your money work for you so you don't have to work for money. Being corny is being true to yourself. I don't get what that means, but 10-4. The tree said, yep, that RWA player is still running right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like when people like Dimitri comes in and says shit because they just stumbled across the channel, and I have people in here that I tell them what I'm doing, and then if they choose to, they go behind me and do it. They make money. I've got people in here that's gonna make five. I got one guy that's up 6 figures, and we not even in June yet. We ain't even halfway through the year. So these people ain't like actors and shit. These are real people that I go in a live stream because I'm up at 3:34 in the morning doing the research. And I say, look, this is what I'm finna do. I think this is finna do this because of this. I think this is finna do that because of this. I put this money here. I sold that. I sold that and moved that over here. I'm finna get 5,000 shares of this. I'm finna get 10,000 shares of that. I just got 100,000 shares of this. I'm finna dollar cost average to get to 1,000 shares of this. And this is why. Now I'm finna get up out of that, man, because I think that's just some hocus pocus. Last week, Mark, what you think about GameStop? You ain't getting the GameStop? Nope, because it's finna do this. Damn, Mark, you was right. So these people ain't paid actors, bro. People see value, and that's why they subscribe, and that's why they come and listen. Listen, it's people that I see that I listen to. Listen, yo, if this person is spot on, And I feel like they do the research, and I've listened to them, and I've paid attention to some things that they talked about, and I monitored it. Man, you know what? Damn, buddy was spot on with that. And he got some insight. Damn, he was spot on with that again. All right, let me see something. Let me do a test over here. Damn, I made a little bread off of that. I do the same thing. And you know what's dope about my channel? I don't charge anybody. The membership is for exclusive people, and you. And guess what? Costas then pretty much gave everybody a free membership. For the most part, it's $2. Everybody wants the generational wealth. You're not gonna get it. Listen, you're not gonna get it from a box truck. I'm gonna tell you that now. One sole box truck is not gonna get you this generational wealth. It's just not. It's not gonna get it, buddy. It's not. It's not gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Not from one box truck. You can build a big business. You can buy a fleet of trucks and turn it into a 7 or 8 figure company. But when you build that business, a 7 or 8 figure company, your costs are going to get higher too. You're going to increase your your uh, your net, but it's going to cost you more to run the business. You create generational wealth by taking that active income from that successful business that you built and investing into passive income, things that are going to bring you passive income. I gave 2 freebies away last year, and only a handful of people called on. I didn't tell people to go do it on the public channel. I mentioned 2 things last year, earlier mid part of last year, as a test, and a few people caught it. They quietly invested in it, and I didn't tell these people to do it. And lo and behold, 3 4 months later, when the shit took off, that's when the people came out of the woodwork. Man, I caught what you said about Solana. I caught what you said about Fetch. Man, I bought in, I ran it up. I had somebody hit me yesterday. I swear to God, on everything I love. Mark, I owe you a Rolex. I would have never known about this shit if it wasn't for you. The money I made it just listening to you. I owe you a Rolex. And that's something that I blurted out on a public channel. Wasn't even in the members only. Some people heard it, didn't even go take the time to look into it. Some people caught it, looked into it, put some money in, and that particular play is up like 900% or some shit like that. Something like that. At one point, it was up over 1,000%. Now it's too expensive to get in. I mean, you can get in if you got a bag, but it's going to cost you a lot more. Are you familiar with 7GC Company and Holdings? And so, do you think it's a good investment to get into? The shares are very low currently. Also, thoughts on Rivian? I like Rivian. I'm not familiar with the company that you first named, but obviously, I like Rivian. I'm a big uh, fan of Rivian. I like Mr. Scaranch, which is the founder and the CEO of Rivian. Um, I like the product in comparison to Lucid and some of the other American uh, EV manufacturers. Um, the only thing I'm concerned about is if the Chinese market or the Chinese manufacturers are allowed to enter the market, then that may, you know, have me on pins and needles. But I think I look at Rivian the way I look at Netflix 10 years ago, or I look at Apple 10 years ago, or I look at Amazon 10 years ago, or I look at any company that has, ran up in profit now in comparison to where they were 10 years ago. I think Rivian is a long play. Ultimately, I think Rivian is probably going to get acquired. Um, might be Amazon, it might be Apple, right? Um, ultimately, I think they're probably going to get acquired. Um, but I like Rivian. I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into Rivian uh, Monday through Friday. Um, and that's that. I like the product. Uh, I like the fact that Amazon has invested billions of dollars into it. Those vans, those electric vans that you see, uh, the Amazon ones, those are Rivians, right? Right? Billions of dollars, right? So, with Amazon behind them, with the possibility of Apple investing or acquiring them, I think all of that is bullish news. Uh, and that's why I'm going to continue to invest in them in comparison to some of the other American manufacturers. A lot of other American manufacturers are penny stocks now. Look at Workhorse. I sold Workhorse during the pandemic. I bought it for 7. I sold it for like 35 or 38. It's a fucking penny stock now. Hey Siri, how much is Workhorse's stock currently? I found some web results. I can show them if you ask. Hey Google, how much is Workhorse's stock currently?
As of 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today, Workhorse Group is trading at 21 cents a share on NASDAQ after hours, down
21 cents.
from closing.
Down from 40 something cents. Workhorse is damn near out of there. Damn near out of there. I bought Workhorse in 2020 at $7. I sold it in 2020 at 30 something dollars. I made a bag off of Workhorse. Why? It wasn't even worth the $7 or the $38 I sold it for. And look at it now. It's worth shit. Rivian is worth $10. Workhorse was banking on getting the United States Postal Service contract. They were banking on the USPS buying a lot of their vans, and they didn't. They went with somebody else. Rivian already, got a deal, a multi-billion-dollar deal with Amazon. Apple is talking to them. So yes, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in for the long haul. The reason why I got our CCIV, the reason why I got our Workhorse is because I know they were sinking ships. I know they were overvalued. I know they were overweight. Like, they didn't even have a product. They still don't have a fucking product. Rivian has 3 products on the market. So yeah, I think Rivian is one of the ones for the long haul. Do I enjoy watching Shark Tank? I haven't watched Shark Tank in years, probably before the pandemic. No, I don't. I don't watch Shark Tank. But I know what you're trying to do. But check this out. Check this out. I'll go up there and switch over to the other format, and I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link, and then we can discuss business, and we can see who is more knowledgeable if that's what you want to do. Because I think that's what you're trying to get at. You're trying to be funny, and we could put a bag behind it. We can drop the money into escrow, and we can debate winner takes all. Let me know what you're willing to put up, and then I'll match it. Let me know what you're willing to put up, and I'll match it. Peppy is trying to catch up to Shiva. I know you don't check your Peppy often, but this is my first bull run. I have 200 million coins of it, so it's been nice to see it run. Yeah, Peppy, I don't really check because I'm just not a fan of anything that's on Ethereum. And then the wallet that I don't even have my Peppy in a wallet. I left it on the exchange, right? And it's not even on the main exchange. I got it on Uphold, and I really don't check Uphold like that. Um, but yeah, I have been seeing the bubbles that that's running. So I don't even know how much I got in Peppy. I'm more rooting for Shiba because that's where my biggest meme bag is. Obviously, it's number 11 out of all the cryptos in the world, probably soon to be number 10. I think it is going to get its run. It has a big community, and I need to see that run. I need to see that run. So I don't want to. I want my faith. My faith is in Shiba, right? So I want to see it run, but that's good. If you got 200 million in Peppy and you making money, that's good. Just be careful with it. Just be careful. Mark, we know these internet people don't pay when they bet. They're not even going to put up the money. They're not even going to put up the money. But Dimitri keeping it real PG. He know what to say, how not to get one of these moderators to snipe him. Pepe is your best performer this year. Yeah, Pepe is outperforming a lot of memes. Pepe, Whiff, Dog with Hat, Bunk has been on a roller coaster, and I've caught it a few times, made money, got out, made money. I should have invested back in a month ago when it was 4 zeros 1 3 when it tanked, and it just slipped. But now it's done ran back up, so I ain't gonna jump in now. Um, what else? Shiba's done exceptionally well. I think Shiba's done very well. It may not be running at the rate of some of these other um, lower cap memes, but here's the thing: once retail, I pray, once retail fully comes back in, you're going to start to see the big dog memes outperform those. Why? Because the two biggest exchanges, right? One being Coinbase and the other being Robinhood. Shiba is listed on those. Pepe and some of these other dog we've had, they're not listed on Robinhood. They're not listed on Coinbase. When retail, and when we're talking retail, we're talking about ignorant retail. We're talking about retail that the retail that the smart investors, smart money is going to dump and leave holding the bag on the dumb money, right? So the retail investors that come in because they're going to be following the trend, those are going to be the people that get left holding the bag. That's why we haven't really seen it really run yet, because we need those retail dollars. The liquidity got coming, like the money it's just crypto being exchanged right now from people that's already in. We need all of that money from retail to come in once the trend really gets popularized. So then that's gonna push it up, push the amounts up, right? And then that's when we start unloading. And we leave them holding the bag, right? Because they buying into the trend. But without them in yet, we're going to continue to get a repeat of what we've been seeing. So hopefully retail is in sometime by the end of this year, so we can really get this ball on the road and get into this parabolic phase. I We still have yet to really hit altcoin season. It's just been narratives, man. You know, AI narrative that cooled off. Memes have been running pretty much throughout the bull run, and now we got RWA narrative. So the gaming narrative never really got started. I don't even think the gaming narrative is really going to do anything until we get to the parabolic phase, right? I think RWAs probably have taken the place of what would have been the gaming narrative. People just rather put their money into RWAs, especially when you got companies like BlackRock that are invested into one specific one. I'm not going to say the name, because I'm not going to give it away. But some of the people know, like Latrice, who I know ran it up today, because I ran it up today. Uh, so RWAs, AI, and memes, right? Have been pretty much, the narratives that have been controlling this bull run. And I'm new here, so what is this stream about? It's about, just listen and then you'll learn something. It's about what the title said. Uh, so is mindset built or are some people naturally ambitious? I think some people are naturally ambitious. I think I'm naturally ambitious. There's certain things that drive me, to want to make more money. Some people may look at those things as, well, it's a lot more to life than money. To each his own, you know. But me want more. I understand that it requires money, so that was always my motivating factor. Um, So you got people that are naturally ambitious, and most people that are naturally ambitious, they have the mindset anyway, because you got to have the mindset to push yourself to be ambitious. You got to have the mindset that pushes you to get up earlier than anybody else, so you can beat them to the punch, right? Because the early bird gets the worm. You got to have the mindset, to push you to stay up later after you done did all your work. You done did everything that you need to do out in the field. Now, when you come home, you eat, you shower. Instead of you getting your ass in the bed, you go sit down in front of the computer and the laptop, and you research more about your business or how to increase your revenue. Right? Uh, that's the mindset that's pushing you to ultimately be ambitious. Some people have to, do things that aren't best for them and get put in tough situations to ultimately change their mindset. You got some people that go to jail, experience jail for the first time, don't want to go back to jail. When they get out, they got a different mindset because they went through an experience that they never want to experience again. You see what I'm saying? Um, so it's a combination of both. So I've always been naturally ambitious. Um, you know, I like to do things when I want to do them, and that shit requires money. Uh, that's enough for me to do what I need to do. Always been. So I think once Bitcoin hits 75K to 80K, things will start to run. Hopefully, it's been a struggle to get to 75K. We ain't got close 73, 74, but hopefully next month we can get to 75 and we can get this show on the road. Because ultimately, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I want to start moving shit around over there and start transitioning a lot of that shit out over into uh, stock plays. But I think this bull run, I don't think we're going to be in a super cycle. A lot of people saying this was going to be a super cycle. I really don't see it. I see maybe not the full distance of a normal bull run, but maybe close to it. And the reason why is because I just think there's a lot of variables that are different now than the last bull run. The last bull run was in the midst of a pandemic. There was a lot more retail dollars being circulated into the stock market and into the crypto market. And I don't think we're going to see that this time. Uh, but the difference is now is we got a lot of more institutional money, right? We didn't have those institutional dollars the last time. But then that's tricky too, because with the institutional money in, they can control and manipulate the market, right? So it's you got to be a lot more careful, right, than when they weren't in the market. So, you know, this is going to be a very interesting bull run. I think if you were invested early, you're you're going to be fine as long as you don't get greedy, because greedy pigs get led to the slaughter. And you know, you don't try to time the top. Most people that try to time the top end up losing, right? You have to be comfortable with selling. You know, if you're up, you doubled your money and you want to sell, by all means. You know, if you tripled your money, you want to sell, by all means. You may triple your money sell and it may go 10 times. You can't get upset. You still made money. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody's going to become a millionaire. Not everybody's going to become 100,000 there, you know. But if you made more than what you started with, then you won. And then what you do is you take that money and then you run it over somewhere else and do the same thing. Run it over to the stock market. You might have made three or $400,000. Go out and buy your first property. You know, don't necessarily go buy Lambo. All right, you know, take that money and go put it somewhere else where you're gonna generate more income, and that's it. It's all about generating more and more income, more and more income. So and that's it. Generating more income and allowing your money to work for you, right? Instead of you working for money. Obviously, you got to get to the point where you build enough assets so that you can sit back and have that money work for you. But I mean, if you do things the right way, it shouldn't take too long, right? And the time will go by really, really fast. You know, that's the reason why I started really doing these these live streams, because you guys know they were trolling me on that other channel that I'm always in the house, but being in the house is a good thing. You know, you can be in the house and live better than a lot of people. That should tell you something. See, I turned a troll into a shut up moment. I turned what was they thought was a troll into a damn. He flipped it on me, and not only did he flip it on me, he right, because I'm out here in a box truck all week. This dude is chilling. The channel that did it came here, knows how I live, the cost that is associated with it, and I'm always in the house. That's not a bad thing. That's a flex. Why? Because the money is working. I did it already. I was out there for years already. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Because if you watch me and you watching for the wrong reasons, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. If you watching me for the wrong reasons, not trying to take the information in, you're gonna get mad. Worrying about why I'm in the house. Because I can be. Just remember, when your favorite content creator came to Chicago at the time of his life, there was no cost, wasn't spared, from a guy that all he does is stay in the house, drank good, ate good, skated around the city good. Everything was top shelf. know when you come, you better come with it. All right, man. I think I didn't said enough. I think the best investment is altcoin. Some alts come. Some altcoins are still 3 to 5. Yeah, altcoins. Like I'm not really a layer one type of guy. The only layer one that I have in my portfolio is Solana. I had Cardano. I sold Cardano about a month ago. I'm out. I sold my XRP. All my Cardano and XRP have gone into RWAs. All my Cardano and XRP went into RWAs. I'm out of Cardano. I'm out of XRP. So the only layer one that I have still is Solana. All right, and people that follow the channel, that was one of the ones that I gave away last year, and I was in Solana at $18. It's damn near 200 right now. So do the math. The other one was Fetch. I was in Fetch, what, less than 10 cent? 10 cent. My average cost of Fetch is 27 cent. Do the math. I already told you how many shares I got, so do the math. So, yeah, so I'm not a big fan of, well, I'm not saying I'm not a big fan, I shouldn't say that. I just, layer ones aren't my thing. I do better, and I think a lot of people do better with the alts. Um, the alts can be riskier, but if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot more money with the alts. There's more opportunity with the alts for a new investor or an investor who doesn't maybe have a lot of money. All right, y'all. It's been a good Friday night. Kicked it with y'all for a little bit. I am gonna hop off this live stream. Appreciate everybody for rocking out. And until next time, peace out.